Hello everyone, it's Michelle from Michelle's Craft Cottage. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator here in South Carolina, and this is Mystery Card Monday, number 98. I am so excited. I've been trying to think of ways we can celebrate when we get to 100th, but I haven't got any ideas yet. Got a couple that are floating around. Okay, so let's review what I said to have ready. You need cardstock bases 5.5 by 8.5, scored at 4 1/4, our usual one. Coordinating piece of cardstock at 4 3/4 and 8. Then you score it at 2, 4, and 6 inches. Then you need a coordinating DSP, one piece 4 inches by 5 1/4. And then you can have matching or different DSP if you want. I did the same paper on the inside, but you can do different if you like. So you need 4 1 3/4 inches by 4 3/4. Hi Vesta, hi Tony. Thank you for sharing, Tony. And then we need some stamped images or ephemera if desired. I didn't put any on mine because I have floral paper, so I didn't put any other than the sentiment and ribbon and stuff. Scrap of coordinating cardstock so you could stamp your sentiment. Liquid glue and dimensionals. A stamp set for your sentiment, and greetings or images if you're putting some. Coordinating inks, coordinating embellishment, coordinating ribbon, if desired. I'm putting some on. And you need a pencil, and you need your cut and scoreboard. Okay? Okay, hi Maureen. So let's do the first clue, number 1. It says to fold and burnish your score lines. So I'm going to first do my card. Okay. And then this one is going to be inside. So you want a valley, a mountain, and a valley. Okay? So let's make sure they're all straight. And let's burnish them. Who's making a card along with me? So I'll make sure that I won't be too fast. I'm featuring a sentiment from Textured Notes, and the paper I'm using is Delicate Dreams. Okay, so put this piece aside. We'll get to that in a little bit. Let's take this one. That's the end of number 1. Vesta, you are? Good. Okay. Clue number 2 says, make sure I got my card going the right way. Adhere your 4 by 5 1/4 DSP on the front panel. Excuse me for my voice. Okay, so I'm going to center this. I love this paper. So many colors that go with this paper. It's amazing. Okay, so I got squared up. Just watching for now as my daughter just threw off my schedule. Those things happen. You'll like it. You'll like it, Tony. You'll make one. When you do, post it. Make sure your paper's going the right direction, yes. Okay. Okay, that's the end of clue number 2. Clue number 3 says, so we're going back to this piece. get your platform out. And it says, make a pencil mark 2 inches from the bottom of this cardstock. So on this right side, you're going to measure up 2 inches and make a little mark. So I'm using my cutting board, my platform. And this is 2 inches. Okay. Using the cutting board, cut from the top left of this card, top left, to that mark on the bottom, on the right side. So line it up in there and there. Take your time, make sure you got it lined up well in the track, both of them. Okay. Okay, so I don't like to go from the point because it sometimes bends it. So I'm going to start down here. And there you go. So we're not using that piece. You can save it for something else. I got something on the tip here. I don't know what that is. Okay? So that was easy enough. So that's the end of 3. Number 4 says, now this could be a little tricky, so I'm going to start and show you. Now I got mine in order of the way I want them because I got flowers here. So this is my first one. So line it up here. I don't know if you've ever done this before. And give yourself that 1/4 inch you normally would give yourself. But we want to cut that off and we still want to have a space up there. So move it up to about a 1/2 inch. Okay? And then you cut that off. And then you'll have the proper angle for doing this. Make sure you're straight though. I just made mine crooked. Okay, so add about a 1/2 inch. Make sure it's straight. And straight with me is not always straight, so I'm going to go this way because it's easier for me. Okay, so now I cut that off, and when I bring it back down to my 1/4, I now have a 1/4 on both sides, roughly. Okay? Okay, now let's cut the rest of them. Okay, that's number 4. Now it says repeat the steps for the other 3 papers. Okay, so this is my next one. I'm going to put it where I would normally put it, my 1/4 inch, centered right and left because that makes a difference too. And then I'm going to move it up to what I think is about a 1/2 inch. And then cut it. Just moved. See, when I do it that way, I can feel that I'm against the cardstock. And last time I kind of cut into the cardstock a little bit, so that's why I'm trying to do it this way. Okay, and then when you bring it back down, you should have your 1/4 inch top and bottom. Okay, so that's number 2. Number 3, do my 1/4 inch first. Then move it up to where I think it would be about a 1/2 inch. Make sure I'm still centered correctly here. Then flip it over. if you don't want to flip it over, you can do it from the other side. But like I told you, I messed up the cardstock last time, so I'm not doing it that way. Hi, Nancy. Yes, I love this DSP. I absolutely love it. Okay, so then when you slip it back down again, you've got your 2/4 inches. Okay, it's number 3, and this is number 4. Okay, so that's my 1/4 inch. So let's move it up to about a 1/2 inch. Still keeping it centered left to right. And then I like to flip it over and cut it along my cardstock. Just moved it again. This is why I don't do too many of those cards with that angle, because I'm not good at it. I don't have a straight eye. Okay, so this is not bad. I'm gonna just clip off the very edge here, because I was a little bit off there. Okay. Okay, so that is clue number 5. Clue number 6 says, center and adhere all the 4 DSP pieces, matching their section. So there, 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 and there. Okay. Now I have not seen this card before. I've seen something like, similar to these, but I had never seen one the way we're making it right now. So I said I got to give that a try. And I always, before I decide what I'm making, I always make making a mess here. I always make a sample. Like I already had picked a card I wanted to do, and I made the sample, and it was not coming out the way I wanted it to, so I pushed it aside and went and looked for a new idea. And this was the one I saw. Okay. So again, left to right, top to bottom, about your 1/4 inch. Okay. This is what's the name of that one? The black one, blue black, Secret Sea. I decided to use Secret Sea because I believe there's some in the paper. So many choices you could use with this paper. So it was hard to pick something that I thought would go well without having too many colors. I didn't want too many colors. Okay. That's number 3. And number 4. And this one might be messed up a little bit because I've got to erase my pencil mark there. So I have to play with that, so I'm not sure how good this one's going to be. Oh, not bad. I don't think anyone will notice. This one's small, so I'm just going to do it this way. The way normal people do it. Okay. Go down a little bit. Okay. Okay, so now that we have those in on their matching pieces, we're going to audition this on the inside of the card. So you're going to lay it out flat, and you want to go a little more than 1/4 of an inch from the bottom, and then it should be a little bit, just a hair bigger than 1/4 of an inch from each side. Okay? And you can go lower if you want. You can bring it way down the bottom. You can center it here between the top and the bottom if you want. It's whatever you want. I did mine about a little more than 1/4 of an inch. Now you want to make sure, see this fold right here? That fold has to line up with the fold in the card. That is very important, okay? So make sure that that's lined up. Looks like I got it pretty much. Okay, and then make sure your card is even. So the second fold needs to line up with the fold of your card. Now fold this little unit back. I think that's number 7. Put glue on this whole unit here. Okay? Holding your card, this piece still inside, okay? Okay? Then close it. Give it a minute to dry, or at least start it a minute to let it adhere. Okay. Okay, now we're going to make sure that this is folded like this with that center one as a mountain. These two are valleys. Okay, now we're going to glue this one. Now it's going to get some play, so you want a decent amount of glue inside. Okay, you with me, Vesta? Now you're going to hold this down here, and you're going to close the front of your card. Okay. Press. Then just to double check, make sure when you open it up, yep, mine is, that my folds are the same way. So now you've got this. Isn't that pretty? Now I've done the outside of cards like this, but I've never done one on inside. So when I saw it, I said, I'm going to give this a try. And I liked it. And I'm sure no matter what paper you use, it looks nice. Okay, so that's the end of number 7. Number 8, stamp a sentiment on a coordinating cardstock. So I chose to go with beige, because this beige, or no, this is crumb, crumb cake, whatever it is. But I also decided I want to put something behind, just to liven it up. So I cut this in half, and then after I'm done stamping, I'm going to bring it out so I've got a border on the 2 ends like this. It's just a little added something, okay? So that's why I have 2 of them. So I'm going to stamp my sentiment, which I decided on just a little note of appreciation. Okay. A little note of appreciation. And I'm just doing it in black. I was going to do it in black originally, then I thought, oh, I won't be able to stamp on it. And I really didn't want to do white or have to emboss. So I said, I'll change it to crumb cake. There it is, I got it. Okay, got a little bit on the edge here. Okay. So I don't guarantee this will be straight, as you know. And do it to your right, because we're going to put a piece of ribbon on it, on this sentiment strip. Not bad. Not perfect, but it's good enough. Good enough for government work. Okay. And then I decided to use this beige because I thought it would go with some sections. And I thought it would look nice with this crumb cake. Okay, so I'm just going to do a little knot. I'm not going to do a bow. So it's set. The next one says tie a ribbon around your sentiment strip. Adhere as desired using dimensionals. Okay, so I'm going to tie it here. I thought it would just give it a little bit of, a little bit more because my front is just flowers. There's no other stuff to, to catch your attention, I guess. Okay. Why does that look weird? Okay, so I'm just going to do a little knot. There we go. There. I'm going to shorten that a little bit. I think I need to get some new scissors. Has anybody gotten the new scissors yet? If you have, do you like them? Or are they really any different? Okay. So now I'm going to stick those two pieces on just to give it a little bit more pizzazz. So I'm going to put glue on here. And stick this on with just a little bit of a border. Just enough to give it something different. Okay. And I'll do the same to the other side. So I think this one I'll either have to, gonna have to make it a little smaller. Which really doesn't make a difference because it's on the inside, behind. So they're both the same. Okay. And then adhere using dimensionals. hope everybody had a good weekend. Thanks for sharing, Sally, says Vesta. Good, you're very welcome. I hope you like it. Okay, so then you put this. Number 9 says, well, it doesn't say, but put this wherever you want it. So you can put it in the middle, you can put it up. I think I'll go right here. See if I can get it straight. There we go. Now embellish as desired. So I think I'm going to use, I love these. These are so nice. It goes with so many things. I just love them. I'm going to use the green. So I'm going to put one over here. And then I'll put 2 over here. I can make them straight though. That should go up a little bit. Yeah, not bad. So that's our card. Isn't that pretty? I like it. Okay, so let me show you my prototype. So I made this one on white cardstock and used some of that older paper. Thank you, Maureen. And did the same thing with the banner. And then I did the pink in the same paper on the inside. Isn't that nice? I thought it was different. Like I said, I've seen the cards where you do this in the front, but I've never seen one done on the inside, so I was like, I gotta try that one. So that is my card for this week. That was number 8. And now we're finished. Now your fun full card is complete. Take a picture of it and post it so I can see it. I really love seeing your cards. Thank you for joining me for mystery card number 98. Join me next week for number 99 on June 8th at 7 p.m. Eastern Time. Please be sure to say hello and comment or like and share my video. I would appreciate it. And that's, oh look, I did it a little different from last time. And that is my card for this week. I hope you like them. Very good. Thank you, everybody, for coming. Thank you, Jane. Oh, you're here, Jane. I didn't see you. Thank you, everybody, for, thank you, Tony. Yes, thank you. I really like that card, too. Thank you, everybody, for coming. And I will see you next week. Bye-bye.